Hey, what up, everybody? This is Steve Breach coming to you with the last match that was added to the SummerSlam 2015 Spectacular with the Monday Night Raw show this week. This, of course, is going to be the Tag Team Spectacular. It's going to be a fatal four-way with your champions, the primetime players, coming in against your former champions. New Day, and then you're also going to have Los Matadores, and you're also going to have... oh shit, who the hell is the last team? Oh, the Lucha Dragons. All I knew is it wasn't the Ascension. God, I fucked that up big time. But honestly, this seems like the match that they always add to WrestleMania at the last minute, just trying to make sure that they get everyone onto the card. I know that it seems like, every couple of years they really want to make the tag team division really mean something. But when it comes down to it, the WWE really has something right now with a New Day. I think that, a few months ago, WrestleMania time, everyone hated these guys. You might be a fan of Kofi Kingston. You might be a fan of Biggie Langston. You might be a fan of Xavier Woods. But not many guys were fans of the trio. I've never really connected with Kofi. I really hope Biggie Langston becomes a real big success in the WWE. I really see him more as a guy, going after singles championships and being in this tag team. But it does add a new layer to Biggie Langston, and it has really cracked the shell on him, bringing more out of his personality. And a lot of times, wrestlers say in order to really find success in wrestling, you have to find a character that's more of yourself. And I think the person that we have right now with Biggie in A New Day is a little bit more of a characterized, tuned up version of who he is if you were hanging out with him backstage. Xavier Woods is the guy, that I got to know a little bit with the Chris Jericho podcast. And I've been watching his Up, Up, Down, Down videos on YouTube, which gets me a little bit interested in this guy and really wanting to see where he's going. I've been rooting for this guy to get out of developmental for a while because I thought he was really good when he was in TNA, and just all of a sudden out of the middle of nowhere they gave up on him. And I thought it was cool that WWE gave him a chance and brought him into developmental. Turning out from the Jericho podcast, it was him going to WWE and going to NXT to get a job there and just work his way up to the main roster. WWE didn't even call him. He says he just showed up with a resume in hand, and that's how he got picked up. When it comes down to the tag team division, I think that there's good matches in WWE every now and then, but they're just put in these segments that just don't really mean anything. When I went to that house show in Stockton, there was a three-way match between the Ascension, it was the Ascension, the Lucha Dragons, and the El Matadores, and I thought it was a good match. The Matadores weren't in it for that long, but I've always been a real big fan of tag team wrestling, going back to the glory days of the 80s when there was tons of teams, and it just seems like now, with the injuries that are going around, the Usos are rumored to be coming back sooner than later, the Wyatt brothers with Luke Harper, and I'm just not in the game today. Eric Rowan, both of these guys, coming back, and I'm guessing that they're both going to be in the Wyatts as soon as Eric Rowan is up to speed. The Lucha Dragons are always a fun, really exciting team. Every time you see them, they're always trying to do something that you've never seen them do before, to get a great pop out of the crowd. But when it comes down to it at the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam, I'm hoping that they right the wrongs and they put the titles back on A New Day. I don't want to see them do what they do with so many tag teams where they go on a good little run and then they just get buried to the back of the pack and they go with a new team for a few months and then you just don't really see them at all. A lot of talent in these guys. I think they should be pushed up to the top. And exactly what they did with the Money in the Bank show. Make some of these shows where Kofi's fighting in singles matches and Biggie and Xavier are in tag matches. They don't have to be just singled out to the tag team division. All three of these guys can work. And I want to see a whole lot more from them in the future. But it's at SummerSlam, New Day, taking the titles.